Yo, what is going on, guys? Winter Kills here, and welcome to a brand new episode of Saturday Night Locals. Just kidding, this was actually recorded on a Tuesday, but Saturday night sounds a lot better than Tuesday night. But yeah, it's been a while since I've posted one of these videos, and I figured for this tournament I would do some voiceover for the matches, just because there are a couple of things that I want to get out on the table as I play this deck, and so that, like, going forward, the more I play this deck, because I really like the Sinful spoil stuff. I really like Infernoble. Like, a deck hasn't really felt this good for me, like, in a long time. Like, maybe since I was playing Rika, or maybe even before that, like Block Dragon BA. Like, I really like the way this deck plays. Been having a lot of success with it lately. I took it to a 3v3, and our team as a whole went 3-2, but I ended up going undefeated with the deck. Very similar list to the one that I'm playing here, and it is inspired by Rudy Torres's top third, or day 2, sorry, YCS indie list. So gotta give credit where it's due. But yeah, so the Sinful spoil stuff, for those that don't know, yeah, as my opponent just concedes there to the connector rip, doesn't want to show me what he's playing. Fair enough. He is playing the PK Horus stuff, so, like, me discarding things out of his hand is not that big of a deal
What does that do?
as you would think it would be, but it's just less discard fodder, I guess, for him at the end of the day. Afterwards, he said maybe he shouldn't have scooped and should have just kept playing it out, but that was going to be, like, full combo there, depending on what else he had in his hand. But yeah, the Simple spoil stuff is really good in here, just because it gives you access to not only, like, summon Renault mid combo, which is kind of nice, but the real draw of it is being able to summon Ricky Ardetto, as we throw that Droll and Lockbird down on the resolution of Imseti. Gives you access to Ricky Ardetto mid combo, which is basically a monster born for level 4 lower fire warrior. So that gets you into Angelica, or into Isolde, or into SP. Gets you into so many nice things after you've gotten interrupted. And it's a really easy thing to set up that doesn't play into Droll. So it's so nice to be able to have that, like, back pocket play at any point during your turn. So that's if for those who don't know already, I figured I'd explain why I even play the Sinful spoil stuff. And the ratio is pretty standard. It's just 3 copies of Wanted, and 1 copy of Diabellstar, and 1 copy of the Snake Eye. Haven't thought about wanting to add or remove any of those cards as of right now. I just like it as is, and I'm still new to the engine, just because I can't tell you how many times I've forgotten to use the draw 1 effect off of the Wanted spell. But we're getting there. We're forgetting less and less. So I droll my opponent. I really don't know how effective that's going to be here. At least I guess it turns off Coach King Giant Trainer if they even play that in this variant of the deck, which I doubt they do. He'll probably just try to go for, like, a Zombie Vampire, an IP line. Could just go for Rusty, standard stuff for Phantom Knight Horus. This is a really interesting deck. If you haven't played against it, like, it's actually a pretty strong deck.
Sends one, right?
And can do some pretty crazy things with the Horus engine. So yeah, I haven't played against the Horus stuff too much. I think this is, like, maybe my 2nd or 3rd time playing against it. I played against a Horus deck at the 3v3. It was a Therion Sinful Spoils Horus deck. I really don't know what the goal of the deck was. I just know that I impermed his Coach King the one game, and he passed. So I don't really think the deck does too much to do an imperm. Kind of like put all your eggs in one basket type deck. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what the lines are for the PK deck. I'm not gonna lie and act like I do know. It's just comboing, and I recognize the Leviair play, recycling a name, you know, getting the boots back on the field, free link fodder. So I'm expecting, like, he'll maybe go for Zombie Vampire. Maybe he'll go for, like, number 90 Photon Lord. I'll go for IP. Maybe leave a Horus name on field. That way you can, like, proc the effect if I clear the Sarcophagus, which is, like, that's a big thing you want to clear. It kind of reminds me of... What does it remind me of? some deck that had a spell that you wanted to get rid of. Oh, Birth. That's kind of what it reminds me. It's like Birth on steroids. Like Giga steroids. Yeah, so also opening 2 Troll was kind of unfortunate. But the Imperm's nice. Because I see the Rusty come down, I'm like, I gotta Imperm this. Like, I can't let that resolve. And it's still not looking good for my hand right now, just because, like I am playable with what I have. It's just not a lot. It's a very fragile hand that will die to pretty much any interruption at the right time. So I really have to draw something good, or hope that he doesn't put up any interruptions right now, which as it stands, he doesn't have any interruptions. He goes ahead and overlays into the zombie vampire here, and that's going to make us both excavate 4, and then he gets a special on any monster from either of our excavations. And the card he takes from me is actually pretty funny. So I do Fire Flint, Ash, Renault, and Durendal, and that Durendal getting milled there actually kind of matters. Because I did side out. Yeah, so he takes the Ash Blossom there. You can probably see why, as it's level 3, because he does have the boots in hand, so he just summons that. And then overlays into... Actually, no, he doesn't even overlay here. I think he just links into IP. So he has like the IP into SP play. And yeah, that's pretty much it, honestly. And I have Imperm drawn for turn, which is really nice because I'm like, okay, now, so long as that last card in hand isn't like a hand trap or anything, like, I can just play through this entire field and honestly maybe even go for a game. Because I am playing like Access Code in here and Nightmare Unicorn. The only thing that's in there that could be an issue is like the Fog Blade with the Break Sword. Like that's just gonna notoriously block a lot of damage because you get 1 body off the Fog Blade, then you get another body from the Torn Scales itself, and then you also have to prioritize again getting rid of the King Sarcophagus because you can't just let him bring back 3 bodies for free next turn. Just a no-go all around. And I was just double checking here, like, you know, does when does Rusty get his effect? Has to be when an Xyz monster, a Dark Xyz is summoned to his own he points to, and I'm like, he doesn't have any Dark Xyz in his graves that he can even revive. So, good there. And now I'm just debating on what exactly I want to get off of the Durendal here. I'm not sure if I go for Renault or not, or if I go for Ogier. Because, like, going for Renault seems kind of nice. Or, Ogier, sorry. Because, like, I've got the Oliver in hand, but unfortunately I don't have any discards for it. I have nothing to...
I'll take a Renaud.
To summon it with. Otherwise, we just go right into Angelica and start, like, comboing. Be pretty resilient to hand traps. So I just take the Renault, because I do have some cards to get back in grave. Specifically, the Fire Flint Lady, I guess, is not a terrible thing to be able to add back. I'm just trying to think if there was any better thing to add there than Renault. Because, like, Ogier could have dumped, like, a Turpin. And then, yeah, no, it had to be something along the lines of Renault. And I added back the Fire Flint Lady there, just so I do have an extender through the Isolde. And I'm already noticing something that I could have done here. I could have literally just summoned the Fire Flint Lady and make Angelica. And I'm going to be pretty shocked to tell you that I don't do that. I'm pretty sure from here, all I do is make Isolde. Yeah, sometimes it's, at least if you're me anyway, it's very easy to forget the fact that Oliver sometimes is a level 4. And sometimes he's a level 1 because of his hand effect. So yeah, that's a misplay there. Now that I'm watching this back. So we summon out the Isolde and we resolve the effect here to add. And I'm short on it. I only have 3 equips left in my deck right now, so that's also something important to pay attention to. And I add the Renault here because I don't think I'm like gonna need it with the combo that I'm gonna try and do. Because I don't have access to like Sinful Spoil stuff. And I don't have like a level, at least I think anyways, like adding it's correct. I don't think it was correct. I think I should have left the Ricky Ardetto in deck because I'm trying to use this old second effect here, and I'm now realizing, as you can see, that I only have 3 equips on deck because I sided out 2. I sided out Joyous and I sided out Angel Ring. Or actually, no, I think I just sided out Joyous because I was siding Angel Ring for this event. And I was maining it before. So I just side out the Joyous, which is honestly a mistake. But also you could argue that I should not have just added Ricky Ardetto there. I could have just added some other warrior like Gearfried to have that as follow-up. But yeah, so now I'm realizing like I have nothing to summon here that's worthwhile. Dolphin, I sat out the connector package going second, just because I think that's pretty good to do. Just because like drawing non-engine is better than trying to go for a hand rip. And yeah, that was a misplay there. That was also one of the reasons why I wanted to do commentary, so I could like explain myself for that instead of just leaving it up with no context, I guess. You guys get like my thought process behind that. Yeah, it was just a miscalculation. Once I added the Ricky Ardetto, I wasn't gonna take it back. I was like, yeah, if I don't add the Ricky Ardetto, I have a play here potentially, right? Because I could like Ricky Ardetto bring back Oliver, then summon out Flint and make Angelica that way, and then still have like an SP play. But my opponent told me he had an Ash in hand still, so like I wasn't doing anything anyways. But had I summoned Fire Flint first and tried to go for Angelica first, then I think I have a way to play through just the one Ash. So like, aside from the, whether you want to say like a miss side or a misplay adding the Ricky Ardetto, aside from that, I still misplayed by just not summoning that Fire Flint and synchroning with the Oliver. So here in game 3, things happen a little quick.
We indeed are.
My opponent drolled me on Museum, and I had to pass because like I really didn't have much of a play there. And then when I passed them, they just set 5 and passed. So I was for sure thought I was gonna be dead or at least very close to that. But we got lucky that our opponent opened up pretty bad. Sometimes that's what it takes, unfortunately. But yeah, and I feel like I had to start with the Durendal or the field spell based on what my hand was. I didn't have any good bodies to really play with to do anything worthwhile. So, but we're able to, you know, on my second turn here, get into Angelica with the help of Oliver and Turpin.
Yeah, we're a Horn of Olifant.
And we go ahead and use Angelica's effect here to search out another field spell. So, and yeah, I think I already used the field spell effect to search this turn. I think I searched Joyous. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I searched Joyous. You can see I already have 2 more field spell in hand as well. Like, it's just not super optimal here. So what I do here is a little out of order, I guess. Yeah, so Angelica is not a tuner. So I go ahead and use Turpin to equip to Angelica, and I try to chain Angelica. He chains Fogblade, but now Turpin, its secret effect, is making Angelica a tuner. So then I, you know, equip it with Oliver, then I special summon the Oliver here. I don't know why I special summoned the Oliver. I should have special summoned the Turpin, because like, oh, I have 2 tuners. I can't synchro 9 into Charles. And luckily my opponent catches that. I forgot about the Turpin effect making it a tuner. So we do correct this.
I don't know how my cards work.
Yeah, so that was another just simple order of operations misplay there. So yeah, now I'm forced to just actually make Isolde here instead of going straight into Charles, which I guess honestly maybe feels like the better play. So we slap down the Isolde. I was looking at SP Little Knight here as a potential card to go into, but I'm also trying to make sure I actually still have a play afterwards. Now that the Angelica has already been used. We've used both the equip effects of Turpin and Oliver. We still have the special summon effect of Turpin available to us. And we go for Isolde here. We use the effect on summon. And just add the connector for some decent follow-up. Feels a little underwhelming as follow-up sometimes because the board gets completely cracked. Like, how helpful is that going to be? I guess, you know, it's hard to tell. And right now I'm expecting that my Assault is not going to resolve based on the sheer amount of back row my opponent has. So what I end up doing here is just sending 4, or at least any way to get multiple equips engraved, because I have the Renault in hand. And I would like to be able to make a DDR play through whatever interruption is going to come on the Assault here. So, and yeah, as expected, like with that many back row, of course there's going to be an imperm set back there, and there's no way the Assault is going to resolve. So at least I've got 4 equip spells dumped into the grave, and can't summon Renault here because we don't have any fire warriors on field. So we have to slap down a new field spell. Pay 12. This is the 3rd time I've paid 12, and I've got to go ahead and get an equip. So right now I'm also, again, just trying to figure out a way to get a fire warrior on the field. Divine Sword is technically an option here. Like, I could have just Divine Sworded, banishing the Angelica and the Oliver, and then equip the Divine Sword to the Angelica, then summon out Turpin, then summon Renault. And I think we're also trying to figure out whether or not I used Rendell this turn. But I did. Yeah, I did use Durendal this turn. But the only reason I added the Durendal is just so I have something to equip to a soul to be able to, again, make Turpin's Graveyard effect live. So yeah, it looks like I do just go ahead and Divine Sword here, because again, I've already used the equip effect of both Oliver and Turpin, so banishing the Oliver here really doesn't hurt me too much. So we go ahead and use a Divine Sword on the Angelica. Turpin effect, a special summon that's going to resolve here. Now we have a Fire Warrior on field. Now we can summon out Renault, sorry. And Renault is going to attempt to add back DDR. And this is going to be kind of clutch here. Because now when we synchro here, like, I mean, we don't have to synchro for Roland. But what we could do is, like, we could go for, yeah, because we haven't used the special summon effect of Field Spell yet. Have we? No, we did. Yeah, we did. We special summoned the Oliver with it. So we are warrior locked right now. So I was going to say there's no access code line to be had here. So we synchro for Roland. And then we go ahead and use the effect of DDR. And I discard an extra museum just because I'd rather have like 2 Drolls in hand to like keep floodgating him turn after turn than like a dead museum, because it is dead at this point. And I also have 2 options here. It's like, do I either bring back Angelica or do I bring back Turpin? Because if I bring back Angelica, right, I can do a Baron play here. But having access to Charles feels a lot better just because, like, it's a spell trap negate every turn, as opposed to Baron just being a Omni negate once and then it's done. So I figured going for the Charles here would be a little bit safer. And you also get the pop on top of that too, so you're not losing out on a pop like you are by not going for the Baron. So we go for Charles, activate Charles effect, non-target pop, hit the set, it's a droplet, so we're just slowly picking apart the field, and we link off the Synchro Charles here into the old Blue Chew Charles, and so we have access to Spell Trap Negate, we have access to a pop, and I used Divine Sword here. I got a little ahead of myself. I didn't really want to banish the Turpin again. And I also didn't want to banish the Roland because that's just giving up a free interruption. Getting Divine Sword back there really wasn't that important as to losing an extender like Turpin. So I just go battle phase here. Swing in for 4k and 16 because the Link Charles is gaining 5 from his effect and gaining an additional 5 from the field spell. And then end phase resolves. We equip the Angelica's Angelic Ring. And we equip Ogier to Charles, and I'm trying to, yeah, I can't resolve Roland's effect, because I don't believe I have an equip in deck, which is unfortunate, because, I wanted an equip. I wanted to add a free warrior, too. So I guess a misplay there, was equipping the Ogier. Like, not being able to be destroyed by card effects isn't, like, that huge in this matchup. I probably should just equip Magus, so when I do negate something next turn, I get a draw and I recycle a lot of my engine. Also, interesting thing, too, you can actually, like, protect your Angelica's Angelic Ring from just getting auto-used by negating a spell or trap with Link Charles first, because the card that you're negating hasn't resolved yet to trigger Angelica's Angelic Ring, at least from what I understand. So you don't have to, like... They can't, like, play around Dark Lord that easy by just throwing out a random spell, is what I'm trying to say. So keep that in mind. So on summon of the boots, I just go ahead and pop there with the Roland, and then he has the thrust, but we can obviously still negate that, so that is a wrap. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in round 2. And last but not least, a big thank you goes to our current Divine level channel members who are Pony Start, Cadillacs, Green, Misfit, and HH Cyber. Thank you guys so much as always for extremely kind and very, very generous support of the channel.